Hi everybody, and welcome to our very first Linfield Women's Soccer Wildcat Weekly Coaches Report of the 2021 season. I'm Joe Stewart here with head women's soccer coach Steve Simmons. Coach, how are you doing today?
Well, we're match day -1. We're just about there, and got through a really productive preseason, and first day of classes yesterday. So that changed the dynamic of the routine, and I think the players are excited to be in school and excited for the first game tomorrow.
Yeah, so tomorrow the season opener against Evergreen State, 4:30. And so far through the preseason, what have you liked, and what are some things that you think the team still needs to work on here as we get into the non-conference part of the schedule?
Well, I like the overall enthusiasm to get better. The attitude to learn has been exceptional. It helps with the leadership of the team, and we have a group of seniors and juniors that have done a spectacular job of paving the way for that to happen, building relationships with the new players. I think the thing that needs to happen is, you can never onboard freshmen fast enough, and they're going through a transition, not just in maybe a faster, more athletic way of playing soccer, but their life. The course load has gone up. Their routine of life and how they live is different, and so they're going through that right now, which does, for some, complicate the learning process to be faster. But I guess the answer is time. The more time we have, and so me and the coaching staff are doing the best we can to expedite that learning, because we feel we've got a really good group this year. And once they start to kind of crystallize the pictures in their mind, you'll see that will come out into play.
Sure. So you've got a great group, but it is mixed. You've got some younger players, some newer players, going to be some fresh faces out on the pitch. When the last couple of years, including the spring season last year, you had pretty veteran-heavy squads. So what have the juniors and seniors been doing to help bring along that group? And also, what was it like last spring using that as kind of a learning time for a lot of those younger players?
Well, the juniors and seniors, again, like I said before, they've been doing a spectacular job of building the relationships with the new players, so that the new players can be a little more at ease and reduce some of the anxiety that comes along with learning something that's new. So they've been really good at that. The COVID year we had last year, it was super unfortunate for many different reasons. However, I would say the silver lining is that in the fall we didn't play anybody, so we had a long runway to learn. The freshmen, who are sophomores now, freshmen last year, were able to take a lot of time to learn concepts, not have to drink water out of a fire hose, not have to worry about winning and losing games right away. So when we got into the winter, they were really ahead of the game. And it'll probably be the only time, knock on wood, only time that ever happens where they'll have a whole fall to learn without the winning or losing the game. So we went into the spring, I felt, as prepared as you can be. And that senior group last year, again, did a spectacular job of onboarding the new players. And so now the juniors and seniors of this year are taking that mantle and doing the same thing.
Sure. And so your system that you run, it's a very team-oriented system, as we've talked a lot about before.
Yeah.
A lot of facilitation out of the midfield. Just overall, who do you see as, obviously, like we've talked about, you don't key in on one player, or it makes it very hard to key in on one player from this system. But who are some players that you see being tentpoles of the system this year, including in that midfielder spot and kind of running the show for you out there?
Right. Well, you're right. It is very collective of how we play. But it does help to have those who are pillars with how we try to play. I mean, you can start in the back with Alyssa Backinson, who is senior goalkeeper. She has hit the ground running, and we see our goalkeepers as our first attackers. So her ability to make those decisions, to to generate attack starts with her. And probably our more senior areas would be our back line. So Ashley Gildagger with the senior, Ariel Miyama, the senior, and then we've got Megan Sweeney, who is a junior. That's a pretty experienced back line there. And then to kind of build from that, we've got two defensive midfielders in Emma Sammartino, who's a junior, and Riley Omanaka, who's a sophomore, that got a lot of time last year, was able to really increase their learning and their confidence playing those positions. And then we add to our outside players like an Ellie Fredrickson, who's a sophomore, Maddie Serafini, who's going to be a senior. It really starts to shape up how we want to play. And then Izzy Charles, who's going to be a junior, an attacking midfielder, along with like Jill LaRue, a sophomore, and Lainey Green playing up top. That's a team that's played together a lot. They know each other pretty good. And what's been really neat to see is that the new players are using them as role models. So they watch how they play. So the new players, I feel, are benefiting from seeing, oh, this is how you do it. And then we intermix them with those folks in training. You can see the new players starting to click. And that's been super fun.
Definitely. So 2 years ago, your first year running the program again, you guys are one of the top offensive squads of the conference. Last year in the shortened spring season, 7-1. Your third year back, it's a talented group, but as you said, some returners, some new faces. But what are the expectations for this 2021 full season?
I think the expectations are to, learn as quick as we can, because this every year is a new team. Even though we have returners, it's to really to learn as much as possible as a group. And so every player is going to learn differently, and they have their own different timeline of how that comes. I believe that once those things are in place, the results will sort themselves out. And so obviously result-wise, last spring, modified year, only played the Oregon schools, so we didn't play the other half of the league. Had a good season result-wise. I was super pleased with the learning that went on, the improvement in that scenario. So my expectation is to continue that trend. If we continue that trend, we are going to be where we want to be.
Which is?
As high as we should be.
All right. So the women's soccer season is starting tomorrow, September 1st, 4:30 at our excellent new soccer and lacrosse facility. We sure hope you come down and check it out, because it is an absolute gem. But if not, we'll have live coverage for you on the LSN starting at 4:15. Coach, thanks for the time.
Thanks, Joe.